Dear community members, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Freud, one of the founders of modern psychology, he said that our mind our inner world is like an iceberg. An iceberg that a little bit of it is above the ocean and most of it is under the water. He said that there are three layers in our psyche, and that, okay, there is what we're the conscious, what we're aware of, and most of it we're not aware of. Most of it is not accessible. That's the unconscious, and that is under the sea, under the water. What is in there? All kinds of drives, strong drives, primitive drives, and perhaps some traumatic memories, things that had they been accessible to our awareness, to our conscious, then that would have been very hard for us, and therefore they're all under the water. What we're aware of is really a very, very small part of our mental life. This week, we're reading about Kriyat Yam Suf, the splitting of the Red Sea. Now, Rav Steinsaltz, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, which we're still in the year for his Avelos, he writes a very nice piece about Kriyat Yam Suf. And he actually says that, we're aware of a very, very small part of our existence. We're in the Yabasha, not in the water, but in the what is out of the water, and that's how we run our lives. We're aware of the Yabasha. We are creatures that are in the ground. However, actually, there is a big, big layer, and perhaps the most deep layer, and the source of our existence that is really the sea. The sea, as you know, in there's everything. It's not differentiated. It's not logic as the world of awareness, the rational world. But actually, this is the source. It says in creation that at first there was water, and then Kadosh Baruch Hu differentiated thing and caused the ground, the sand, the Yabasha. Of course, there is this layer that Freud spoke about, but we're speaking here about something that, our godly source, our neshama elokit, Elokai neshama shenatata bi tehoahi. We have deep roots that are beyond, we can call it almuda, beyond consciousness. Many times we're not aware of them and we're not connected to them. Now, in the splitting of the Red Sea, all of a sudden, we were betoch hayam bayabasha, in the water, but in the ground. We were able actually to live in both worlds and to see that there are deeper things than our mundane, regular lives in the Yabasha. This miracle of Kriyat Yam Suf, actually, it happened historically at a certain time, but it actually created within us this ability that we should actually live in both worlds. We should live both in the out of the water and in the water, meaning we should be aware, we should live our rational, regular lives, but be aware and try to be connected to understand that there are deeper things that are actually and holier things that actually we could do much more. We could reach much more because our source is much more elevated than our mundane, regular lives. We are expected to live betoch hayam bayabasha, to be here in the Yabasha, in the ground, in the dry ground, and yet still understand that our source is from the Yam, that there is much more that we could reach. And actually, there is much more than what we just see in our eyes. You know, there were elections lately. There are all kinds of cheshbonos now, maybe this and maybe that and maybe this and maybe that. And also when we're going out of the corona, also there's this and there's that. All of this is important, but we should all remember to look deeper than that, to look beyond that, to understand that there, aside from, short-term calculations, there are things that are much deeper than that. And this is what actually this ability to live in the Yabashah, but also to understand that the sources from the Yam, from the water, from the sea, this is a thing that we got from Kriyat Yam Suf. So Bezrat Hashem, we should pray to Hashem that things will continue to get better. To thank Hashem, just like Bnei Israel did with Shirat Hayam, to thank Hashem for the miracles that He's doing to us, and to understand, to take this memory from Kriyat Yam Suf, that we're able for a minute to see that there's something beyond just the simple ground that we're standing on, our regular lives, to remember that, to take it with us, and to try Bezrat Hashem to strive to get higher and return to our deeper sources. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.